Yeah, and my phone number. So we talked about pins and Avon logo shirts you can get from Town and Country. Put your photo on your business cards. Put your photo on your website, on your Facebook. Use a photo of yourself. So you want to brand your face, your name, everything to go with Avon. Okay, wow, we're only up to number 4. There's a great book called Raving Fans. And remember this, there are lots of free business seminars these days. Go to them. They have the most successful business people running free breakout sessions. And I went to one last year and I can't go to it this year. I'm really disappointed. The name of the organization is Kioli.org, Kioli. It's an acronym that stands for Keep It On Long Island.com. It's run by the Long Island Press newspaper.
Yeah, you said org before.
Is that .org? .org. I'm sorry, it's .org. It's run by the Long Island Press, which is a great magazine, newspaper, okay? And Keep It On Long Island is a network, business-to-business networking company, and you can go there, you can swap business cards with people, and then they have breakout sessions. And who did they have but the guy, Sal, in charge of Allure Remodeling, who had done like 8 extreme makeover shows for the houses. Remember the houses?
Yeah.
They had him. And he said he had his breakout session, and he talked about creating raving fans, okay? And he explained it. He says, when a customer shops from you, they're going to say, wow, that was, was that service good? Yeah, that was great service, good. Okay, but you want a raving fan, like a Yankee fan or a Red Sox fan, where they, or Red Sox fan, where no matter what the team is doing, they still love you. That's a raving fan. Okay, when something goes wrong and something happens where you kind of made a mistake or you screwed up an order or an Avon thing is on back order or whatever, and you kind of go the extra mile to fix it, when something goes wrong, that's your time to shine. It's very easy to take an order, deliver it, collect the money, and go home. But when something goes awry, this is a key opportunity for you to make it more than right. That creates raving fans. So consider that an opportunity if that happens.
Are you offering a free gift, a discount,
whatever it is,
you want? Okay.
Whatever it is, and even if it costs me a little, it's worth it because I fixed it.
I usually do the 10%.
Yeah, whatever
Off
it
their
is.
next order.
Yeah, that's fine. However you want to do it. The point is you have to go that extra mile. Yes.
Can I say something?
Sure.
You can offer 10%, but what I've learned is you're losing money then. You can offer 10%.
I'm always losing.
Don't lose money. That's not good. Give a free gift. We get a lot of gifts with the What's
Yeah,
New.
that's true.
Give them a free gift.
That's a
You
good
can do
point.
10% for their birthday, for the
Okay.
holiday. No, I'm serious, because I did that in the beginning.
Yeah.
I was told.
Discount's a 4-letter word.
Yeah, it's rough because you want to make money.
Yes.
So, get your lip balms, whatever you can get really cheap. You put a little extra in the bag, and you tell them there's something special in there for you because you're whatever,
Absolutely.
And I usually always do that with their orders. I put
Right.
something in.
I'm not saying
But
don't give them a discount every now and then, but be careful because.
Well,
you
she's
know-
saying if something goes wrong,
Right.
she wants to fix it in a big
Right.
way.
Because
And I
that's
understand
it.
that. And that's
Yeah.
true.
And if you're doing that with 10 people, that's a lot of money.
Well, she's only going to do it when something goes wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what she's really talking. And that's
And
what we're-
unfortunately, it happened to the same customer like 3 times.
Well, that's
Well then,
and
yeah, I know.
like
It's all right.
Avon right now is selling the calendars for next year.
Yeah,
It's been downhill, I'm telling you, since
Well,
I started.
This is a fantastic gift to
story.
Oh, I
give.
just ordered those.
I have
Yeah,
people
those are
asking me when they're going to get, because I give it to them for the holidays.
This is
They're only like
fantastic.
$100.
Yeah.
And you put,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Put your
Yeah,
label on
put
it.
your-
They sent me one. It was all crumpled.
And I write a little blurb saying,
Yeah.
I love the way they
For
put the
your friendship
catalogs in
and
the
your
boxes
loyalty.
too.
Yeah, and you attach your business card here so they have it all year
You know,
long in
thanks
one
that.
purse, in one
Yeah.
place. Okay.
Attach
very
it
good.
in November.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
you
for
can.
Christmas, that's what I was gonna do.
Yeah, it's
Like
great.
a Christmas bag. and
Yeah.
just stick it in.
If you want to get really fancy, every month put a new coupon.
Oh yeah, that's right. I just actually bought
Or get little
gift
stickers.
certificates yesterday. 'Cause
Okay.
I came to the meeting yesterday
Yeah,
and they were giving out ideas.
perfect.
So
Per month.
Okay, so providing good courteous customer service is not enough. So you create a raving fan by correcting wrongs quickly, returning phone calls promptly. How many times have we gotten a new Avon customer that tells us, you know, I ordered something from an Avon lady and she never brought it to me? I hear that all the time. Or I wanted to return. You know what? Things like this, like returns. This is your opportunity to make something right, make it better. Of course, there are people that abuse it. I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about typical return situations, okay? It's your opportunity to make it right. It's an opportunity to make the customer happy. Accept returns with a smile, okay? It's part of doing business. Offer lots of samples. People love samples. You should always go with a basket of samples and they can choose a few things from it. Another thing I do is I still charge the 75-cent fee. I round down. If they owe $25.72, I make it $25. People
Right, I do that
notice.
too, and they like that.
And people love it.
And they'll go to me, really? Are you sure?
Yes.
And I'll be, no, that's
Yeah.
cool.
I have people
But
that
I do
tip
the
me
same
because
thing. I
they
do
feel
the
bad.
75
They
cents.
want to tip me. I'm like, what are you tipping?
Yeah.
But it's true. Just round down. It's a real good way to leave the person extremely happy. And it's a way of getting a discount, but it's not quite 10%. Never speak poorly of your company when they screw things up, which happens in our orders sometimes, because everything is fixable. And never speak poorly about another representative. Say, I'm sorry she didn't provide you good customer service, but I promise you that, I will take very good care of you. Even if you know that representative really isn't doing the right thing, there's nothing you could do about it, and just be thankful the customer came your way. Always leave your customer feeling awesome about Avon and your service, and this will cause her to share her wonderful experience with others. Be proud out loud, okay? It's Avon's 125th anniversary. You should be telling everyone that that's going on. You should tell everyone that Avon has raised over $800 million with the Avon Foundation. The Breast Cancer Awareness Crusade Walk has just happened. Talk about it. Look up information about your company, okay? And that really kind of brings me down to the next point. I found this information, and these two sheets are identical. If you go to avoncompany.com, you can click on and print out tons of information about the company you represent. All right?
AvonCompany.com.
AvonCompany.com. It's run by Avon. It has our values and principles, which you should internalize and become. These are the principles that are not only Avon's principles, it's the principles of every Avon representative. Know the Avon story. There's a whole book that you can buy at the bookstore about Avon. I read it in like 3 hours. I just couldn't stop reading it. It's a fascinating story. But here's a quick synopsis of it right on avoncompany.com. You can learn exactly how, I can recite it off the top of my head from top to bottom, inside and out, and you should be able to recite that as well, how Avon started. Okay, little dot. It's on here right now, little dot. You should have this and bring this for show and tell to your customers. A great way to discuss the Avon history. You know, Avon's 125 years old, and I really just have to show you this fabulous collection. The Little Dot perfumes. This was the perfumes that, we have an opportunity to buy this, Little Dot, okay? These were the 3 fragrances that he used to bring around, or he used to send Mrs. Alley around with, to sell his encyclopedias. Okay, and then the customers got more interested in the fragrance than they were in the encyclopedias, and hence the beginning of the California Perfume Company. When he realized that they wanted this from him more than the encyclopedias, he developed these. These, I'll pass these around later and we'll smell them. They're phenomenal. They're the 3 basic fragrance families. Flowers that he used was hyacinth, rose, and violet.
They're in the book.
What's
Yes,
new, I
it's
think
new.
they're in there.
Yes, it's in one of the What's News. You can smell them later. They're just beautiful, and the packaging is gorgeous, and it really kind of gives you an opportunity to discuss the history of the company and talk about how we're 125 years old. We rang the New York Exchange closing bell, and all that information. Okay, it's very important to bring the show and tell. The Avon lady through the years. okay? This is just a great little thing to carry and just to see what kind of history you're part of. Seriously, you have to read these stories, and you will when you get a chance. And they have like these pictures in here. I'm going to pass this around in a minute. Aligning the stars, the history of Avon celebrity partnerships. Did you know that Joe DiMaggio was in our brochures? Did you know that Elizabeth Taylor made striking jewelry that is worth so much money now for Avon? Okay, Rosalind Russell, another famous actress. Of course, we have Fergie, and we have Reese Witherspoon, Derek Jeter, we had Chad Pennington, we had so many. So really know your company and the history of your company. It's so rich, and there are not many companies that really, have the history that we have. Okay, I kind of skipped ahead. That was number 6, but I'm just going to go back to number 5 because I started talking about philanthropy. Okay? Use your Avon business to do amazing things for people, organizations. It could be for an individual who wants to go who wants to send their child for a student exchange trip. It costs like $5,500. You can do if someone unfortunately has a disease. Everyone needs funds, extra funds for that. So whatever you can do, be proud out loud about what Avon can do to help them raise the money. And when I do a fundraiser, especially if it's a really important issue like a disease or an illness or something, I always like to give as much as I possibly can. Because in my world, in Liz's world, I always feel that when you give, you don't have to worry about the return because you're creating a positive energy and a positive force out there around you, and only good things can come to you when you do good things. Okay? So I don't worry about making money and this and that and that. If I focused on the money, it would be unfulfilling, right? So now most Avon representatives feel that way, and that's why we love this company, because that's how the company is. But always approach every business deal with what you're going to give the other person, like your Leah Sophia, okay? The business-to-business networking and also fundraising, just figure out what you're going to give them and make sure it's a mutual relationship that you're both earning and that you're not getting more than the other person and you haven't created an imbalance in there, okay? Just always pay it forward, always think in those positive terms, and only good things will come back to you when it comes to your business.
So when you're doing a fundraiser and you're saying you want to give, but are you giving your whole earnings?
What I do is I give, you don't have to do this, but it depends on what the fundraiser is. But I don't do fundraisers to make money. How I use fundraisers is as a promotional event for myself. So I'm able to reach all these new customers because when I deliver to them, they're all going to get this, a thank you note. We helped the, so-and-so family raise $8,000 towards, whatever, okay? They're going to get a note, recruiting flyer, a brochure, they're going to get all that in the bag. Now, I've left them feeling great about what we've done together, okay? Then you now promote your fundraiser success by reaching out to a local newspaper or to Patch.com, and now you're promoting it. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I'm not going to go into that right now. But you always just pay it forward and just give. It shouldn't cost you anything. You should break even. And the way you break even is you tell them, listen, I'm going to give you all my profits, but there's an expense to having a fundraiser. I need to purchase these flyers. And you give them a bill, and these flyers cost $5.95 for 25 of them. And so you need 100 of them, so it's, whatever, okay?
So you're really just charging them for materials
Yeah.
and then giving them all of your earnings.
That's what I choose to do.
Right.
I'm not recommending that everyone
No, I
do
think it's
that
a great
either.
idea, but then
I
you
use
reach
it
out and
as a
I
promotional
think
event.
that's
Okay? I consider if it's a great cause, then why wouldn't I want to support it? And it may take me some extra time, but it's a labor of love that's going to give you so much more exposure. It's totally worth it every time. Okay? So,
Liz, real quick. Do you
Yeah.
hand deliver every order, or you give it to the organization and they're dispersing the order?
it depends. If it's like a major organization, I have a pickup night. And I
Okay.
bring it all to the one spot and they all pick it up. If it's a small enough organization, I'll drop them off. If it's a local thing, I'll drop off like so-and-so ordered like for 20 customers, I drop them all off to her house, all 20 of her customers.
Okay.
I do it
And
like
you have
that.
everything already bagged up for
I do. I
her?
have everything bagged
Okay.
up. This is the key. You need it to be simple and they didn't have to think
Right,
about anything,
right.
they didn't have to do anything or whatever. You just make it simple and people will constantly use you.
And you know what's a good idea too? Now you could use the 10%. Now you could put a little label on the book that
Yes.
says on your next order, because you helped raise money for this organization, on your next order, I will give you 10%.
Right.
Because now
Okay.
they raised money for their organization, they're happy.
And
Right.
they're
Now they're gonna reward you.
Right.
So like in that way,
Right.
you reap the benefit that way too.
Yes, and that's true. And, make sure everyone has your website, okay? So everyone's gonna get all your information at the end. Okay? All right, so we did number 6. Let's just drop into number 7, and this goes back to talking about your Leo Sophia friend. Social networking with other network marketing companies and businesses. Figure out how you can help them and make it a mutual relationship. Never try to get more than them out of the situation. You give before asking for something. Do some mutual advertising, do some mutual events. Never speak ill of another company. This is key. Okay? Unbelievable. I was in an office and I was talking to somebody and this woman walked in. She was all shiny and gelled up and sparkly. And I came in to ask a question because it was my other job. And they introduced us. And she says, "Oh, Liz, this is so-and-so, and you guys have something in common. She sells Mary Kay." Right? And I said, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you." And she was older than me. And then the woman's husband, who's my friend, said, "Oh, wait a minute, you guys are like competition, aren't you?" And you know what she said? "Avon's no competition to Mary Kay." And I was like,
That's not right.
I would never, and I said, "She's right," meaning the other way, of course.
Right.
But I said, "You're absolutely right," and I left. Okay, but I just kind of, I would never do that. Never do that. Never speak ill. There are other companies out there that may speak poorly. Not companies, but other representatives of companies. You never want to be that person. Okay? Always take the high road. It'll always pay off for you. Okay. I said always take the high road and leave the dips for those who want to be in a rut. And that is true. I made that up. I don't know. That's a good one though, right? Okay. Number 8. Check your appearance. We are selling beauty. So you need to look beautiful. You need to be organized. You need to look put together and professional.
11 o'clock and
Okay? You need to get yourself a good haircut, good color, wear the best clothes when you're delivering and prospecting, accessorize appropriately. Okay? I don't break out this elephant for no reason. Okay? But you want to make sure, you're not over accessorizing. If I was wearing big earrings or if I look like, makeup like this and the lips, who's going to buy makeup from me? Nobody. So you want to make sure,
like a clown.
yeah, you don't want to go out looking like a clown. So you want to make sure that you look as professional, that you're, when you're going to an event, you always try to dress just a little bit more than you think the event's going to be. You always kind of top it off. Because you always want to be the best dressed, the most put together, and because that's when people are going to see. Presenting with your business cards and really be.
Growing up, my mom always said, no matter how overdressed, you can never be underdressed. Or
Exactly.
with other women.
Yes,
or
right,
that.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So there's nothing worse than being underdressed. That's for sure. And so always, and make sure you smell good. Because think about it. If I was working in Toyota and I drove a Mercedes, what is that communicating to my customers? That I don't believe in my product and I don't think it's good enough, so I'm driving a Mercedes. Doesn't make any sense. So that goes with what the products you're using. Literally, I can count the number of times I've touched. I don't think I have. I haven't bought another brand of lipstick, makeup,
No.
nothing. Skincare, definitely not. A hair care once in a while, because my hair is a little,
And my
I don't think I've ever really touched another product for like 7.5 years. It's actually like, it's uncomfortable. And that's how you should feel about your company and about your product. Okay. Number 9. This is all helping you brand yourself. Okay? Remember that. Have a family meeting and make sure everyone knows that your Avon vision includes them and how you can make this happen. Include them in the plan and celebrate your successes with them. Teaching them about what it's like to be an entrepreneur is a gift because with entrepreneurship, no one can ever be unemployed. Assign them tasks and make them accountable and pay them in whatever way you want to assist you. It is very important that your family's on board, your kids are on board, if you're married, your husband's on board, your wife's on board, whoever it is. Because if you're not a well-oiled machine that everyone believes in this vision that you have, it is almost impossible to break through that glass ceiling. You'll always kind of be here and never through the roof. Because if the whole family is on board with you, you have that much more energy to get to the finish line. And, no man is an island, no woman is an island. You need a whole team, a whole village.
I have a funny story to you about that,
Yes.
actually. When I've always been in, direct sales and, did all that kind of stuff. And my husband was always like, oh, you your get rich quick schemes or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I've done everything. But anyway, so then I started Avon and that kind of fell into just another one of those.
Yes.
So I told him, I said, but I really want to make this work. I'm just loving what I'm doing. I love the products. I love everything. You really need to get on board, blah, blah, blah. I said, take some books. He's a cop in the city. I said, take some books into work. Throw them into the locker room, He's like, no, I want nothing to do with this, blah, blah, blah. I started in January. Over the summer, I'm placing my order. I'm like, you know what? Let me just order him True Force. So I ordered him True Force. I replaced it with his Axe, okay? So now he's using True Force. He's like, it smells so good. And now he goes into work, and the women and the men at his job are like, you gotta get me this True Force. And guess who brings in books every campaign now?
Exactly.
You know
like,
something? The men's colognes
funny.
are fabulous.
They are.
The women, some of them I could.
Yeah, well,
truthfully, I
it
could
depends.
take
We have
over
so
them.
many choices,
There's
that's
some,
why.
but the men's are like, forget about
Well,
it.
True
There's
Force.
one that I don't like.
I have not met one person that does not like True Force.
Yeah.
Smells
And I had a
great.
similar story. We were out one night, my husband was behind the camera here, and this girl is like, what do you have on? She kissed him hello. And he's like, I don't know, it has like a T and an F on it. Like he didn't know because it has just the initials. So, of course she had to have it.
Right.
And she had her own Avon representative, so she's going to tell him. But, they really, it is a known fact that women are the ones to buy men's cologne.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's a #1 seller during the holidays.
Well, and the men that even he works with, we're going through the brochure and they're like, they need more men's stuff. Why is it just cologne? And I'm like,
Yes, you're right. A
We
lot
used
of
to
people
have a
tell me
whole
that.
men's catalog that was completely separate.
oh, really?
Yes. And,
Why doesn't it come back? It didn't do well?
I
or-
guess it didn't do well, so they integrated it back in.
I get that too. A lot of guys
Yeah.
will tell me even at my job. What's the
Yeah.
matter? There's
Well, they
nothing
can
in there
use all
for
the
us?
skincare.
That's what I say.
Yeah, they can use all the skincare. Absolutely.
Skincare
Our
is what else
skin's all
they
the
really
same.
need. I mean, they can
Yeah.
shampoo.
Yeah, everything else. The only thing they can't use, well, they can use it, but they won't, is the makeup
Right.
or the high heels, but you never know. Okay,
True.
so number 10, and this is going to tie everything that I've been saying together, okay? Every time you earn an award, you hit President's Club, you hit Honor Society, you go to the event and you earn pictures. They take pictures and you earn an award. You take pictures. Bring your camera everywhere. Okay, whatever's happening. You raise a lot of money for a fundraiser. Whatever's going on, you should be proud out loud. Again, I'm going to say it because you are your own public relations agent. So you should always have a short list of publications that you will contact, like your newspapers, your local papers, your local, like thepatch.com. You can also promote yourself on there.
Can you put pictures on there?
Yeah, you can put pictures on there. And what I used to do is this. I used to put a picture, send the picture in with a caption attached to the picture, and send it off to the publication. And I found out that that was not allowed by Avon. They don't like that, okay? So what you should do is I put it on the bottom here. This is the manager of global PR, right? Her name is Lauren Harrelson at avon.com. And what they want you to do now is if you want to promote yourself, you would say, and I did this, I called her up and I said, listen, I would love to tell it in a local publication that for the advance, you know the advance, that I rang the closing bell at the New York Stock Exchange. I mean, I don't know if it's newsworthy, but I'm a local person and not many people get a chance to do that. So we contacted them and they gave me an email picture that I could send them, a professional photo, because they always have professional photographers at the event. I sent the picture over with the blurb, and not only did they want to print that, but they wanted an interview, like a full interview. It turned in from a little caption that I was thinking of under a photo, local Avon representative brings the closing. It turned into an article, a beautiful article with a color photo, and the article was like this big on the page, this big. It's phenomenal. You know how many people read that? So that's really important. Again, when you do things like that, you become more searchable on the internet because all these magazines and newspapers put their information on the web these days. And then again, your name gets picked up. So if whatever you do, I don't care what it is, try to get it in the local paper. And this PR department will do it for you. They will pitch, they call it pitching a story idea. That's what they do.
They pay for it too?
There's nothing to pay for.
Oh.
There's
Well, if you
nothing
want
to
to
pay-
do something like in the penny saver or
No,
I mean,
if they
that kind of
cover
stuff you have to
it,
pay
no.
for.
Well, if you're advertising, that's different.
Right.
Advertising is another. I'm not talking about
Oh,
advertising.
okay.
See, and
This
that's
is all stuff you can do for free.
this is all free.
Okay.
This is more valuable than anything you can pay for. Okay. And I have a word to say about advertising, and I had this conversation. When you put an ad in the paper, okay, it's a good idea. Costs a lot of money. You're out for a week and then it's over, right? Okay. If you put an ad in the paper, you can't control what eyeballs are looking at. Okay? It probably ends up at the bottom of the bird cage and whatever. Okay? So you would be spending your money more effectively and efficiently if you say, okay, that ad is $575. I'm going to allocate $500. I'm going to call 100 of my customers or 50 of my customers and offer them a gift card to come back. Somebody that hasn't ordered from you in, I've been selling a while. So someone who hasn't ordered from me in 5-6 months or maybe a year, I'll literally call them and offer them money toward their next Avon order. Would you like another brochure? I'm sorry I haven't brought you a brochure lately. I would love to offer you a comeback gift for, $10 off your next order over $20 or something. Or over $25, so that at least that's just your commission, so you break even. There's a better way to spend your money because that's already a warm market, and you're more likely to get a customer out of it than if you just put it in the newspaper for 1 week, and then it's gone and it's over, and no one calls you. That's what happens. All right, but what I am talking about here is branding yourself. Now, I have been in the advance a lot, okay? I'm on Patch.com, I'm blogging, I'm on Facebook, I'm on this, I'm on that, I'm all over the place, you know? So when people see me, they see Avon, they think of me. That's all I want to happen, right? When you think of, you know, Avon, what Avon has done to brand themselves, do you know that Avon has 90% brand recognition around the world? You can go to the far corners of the earth and mention Avon, and 90% of the people you ask will say, yes, I
On
would.
that note,
Yes.
here you go.
What is this? Oh, now this is
On
from
that
another
note-
country.
This is from Bulgaria.
Oh
Look
my
at
gosh,
this.
wow.
Is that cool?
My son has a friend in school.
This
She
is
came
so
home
cool. And you
over the
can...
summer, and she brought me back Avon books from Bulgaria.
Wow.
Now, here's an interesting thing. There are different products in here. Of course, there are different
Isn't
models.
that cool?
But I asked, I said, why are there different products and different, you know? And the thing is that their packaging is different in some countries because of the manufacturers there. Their names are different because I think in Brazil it's not called Anew, it's called Renew, because Anew is already being used by another company down there. So it's like, it's just a very interesting, a very interesting part of Avon, how global we are. You just can't even get your head around it. But if you type in Avon Italy, you can look at some Avon representative in Italy and look at her whole page. Sure, yeah, it's
Yes,
cool.
So cool.
It is
that
very
cool?
cool.
Oh my gosh.
So,
I just
You
have
know,
to have them.
when you realize how major the company is, you know, we have 6.5 million representatives worldwide. We're like in 160 countries around the world. I mean, it's amazing. And I'll just end today by saying, at the end of the bell ringing ceremony, we all went back to the executive boardroom, and Andrea Jung introduced us all, told us everyone our story. But before she did that, she talked to Avon's founder, David H. McConnell's grandson. His name is James Clark. He was, I don't know, maybe he's in his 80s or something. And she said to him, you know, because Avon was started as a California perfume company, and many times the company failed in the beginning, but he kept going. He had this vision, right? And that's how we all feel, like, you know, it's hard to get this started. Okay, now let's try this way, let's try that way. He never stopped. And what she said was, he had no idea, if he could only see what has become of this company, and how, she says, I've been in the furthest corners of this earth, and if you can see how the Avon Foundation has touched women there, you can see how the Avon business has improved the lives of women there. It was the exact vision he was imagining. And the fact that we're all here to live it and enjoy it is truly remarkable. And we were enjoying it with his grandson, which, you know, we had a champagne toast and everything. And when you really absorb that and read the story and really appreciate who you're representing, it will become very easy for you to become one with the company and really brand yourself and position yourself with great success. Rather than just an order taker and delivery boy, you become an Avon professional who has clients, who services her clients with professionalism, who builds her business with integrity, and that's really, you know, what being part of Avon's about. So I hope you will use these ideas, okay, and pass them along. Feel free to use everything and anything, duplicate it, whatever you have to do, you know. So sure.
What's the name of the book? Is that a history?
It's called The Avon Company.
Is that in here?
It's not.
I think you said it was Raving Fan.
No, the Raving Fan book is not written by Avon. It's
Oh,
written by
okay.
another person. The Raving Fan book is another book. But there's a book written by Avon about, I would say about 4 years ago.
She says they don't need
And
to.
what's it called?
I think it's called The Avon Company. I'm not 100% sure now. I can't remember. Yeah, it's on Amazon.com. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions or any tips to share? Yes.
have so many questions.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What'd she remind you of, Liz?
What?
What'd she remind you of?
You?
Yeah. She's not as bad though.
No. You've been quiet today.
When you did all this branding for yourself,
Yes.
how did you notice that, like, have you gotten a lot of customers from branding yourself like this, and how long did it take you? before
Well,
you
let's
started
put it-
seeing,
Let's
results?
put it this way. In my Avon customer list, I have about 1,700 people that I've serviced. Not that I'm servicing them all the time.
Right.
I'm not the top seller of
AvonCompany.com.
Avon ever.
Right.
I'm not the top recruiter of Avon ever. I just know what I'm doing is the best I can do in my situation. I'm a mother of 2. That's my number 1. I have a part-time job. You know what I mean? I have like other things going on. But in order for me to be the best that I can be and continue growing this business by growing my team, okay? Because that's really what I like to concentrate on is nurturing and growing the team. You will realize it becomes much more easy for people to believe in your integrity and to trust you when they see all these things that you have done, and that when they Google you, and really honestly, as you know, people should really shop for an upline before they sign up for a network marketing company. We've all known what happens if you sign up with the wrong upline or no upline.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really, if you're on a great team, that's when great things start to happen. So when people are thinking about Avon and they Google and they say, oh, let me see what this Elizabeth Balistrossi is about, or let me see what this Avon is about, and your name comes up, it starts to put all the pieces together for somebody. I've gotten calls from all over the country from people who want to become Avon representatives because somehow they stumbled upon my YouTube videos or whatever, and I've gotten emails and phone calls, I want to be on your team. How do I join your team?
You know, Liz, I have a video of you I have to put on YouTube.
Which one?
When I fell down the stairs when I was taking
Oh,
Remember?
yeah, that's a
Taking
good
that
video.
video. That's
Yeah,
nice.
I remember that. She wanted to videotape a grand opening.
Yes, I videotaped her. In the interim, I fell down the stairs. So it's kind of funny.
Yes. Yeah, and that's a great
Find that.
idea. We should actually plan that.
We should
plan.
show that.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Because a grand opening on video allows you to show your Avon representatives, hey, listen, you want to see what a grand opening like? It's a lot of fun. Here it is. So we should put that on YouTube
I gotta
because then
figure it
people can see what you need. I mean, basically, you can have a party out of a box, and I show
That's what you did.
how you do it right out of a box.
That's what you do at a grand opening. You bring just a couple of products.
Yeah, we talk about the things.
You
and-
go through the brochure with people.
Yeah. In fact, I have it down to a science that she actually thought it was something that had to be done. You become an Avon representative, you have to have a grand opening party. And then she
I think I was the first one.
yeah, because
Right.
I've been telling people forever, when
Right.
you sign up, you should really have a grand opening party. You should really have
I
a
never even heard of that before.
Me neither.
Okay,
I was,
so-
what
It was
is it?
a lot of fun.
I know, I don't
Well,
Oh, I
know.
think for a store. You mean for yourself?
Right.
For yourself.
Oh, I
just
thought
sign
you
up.
knew like a Weight Watchers that was opening or something.
No,
You're doing like a grand opening.
a grand
Oh.
opening party for yourself.
You
Your Avon
invite your
business.
family and your friends to your house, you set up some products, you have enough brochures for everybody, pens, you can play some games if you want.
Yeah, we had a lot of games.
We had a lot of fun.
And she thought it was derived from Avon. So she took this little model, and every person she signed up, she had this grand opening. Like she just did it like a robot, and she had it down to
Little
say.
anal.
So in the beginning, she said, "Let me videotape it because I want to be able to do it myself, and I just want to be able to like watch it, so she could duplicate it." And I always make things
It
easy.
was
That's
just
really
fun
important when
watching
you're a
this.
leadership
Those
representative.
down.
Gotta make everything easy and
True.
duplicatable. Well, one day we were out somewhere and she goes, "You mean I didn't have to do a grand opening?"
Yeah.
I remember that conversation. I said, "No, that was my own little thing I worked up." And she's like, "Oh," but she had it copied, duplicated to a science where it was a carbon copy of mine.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. Now we should have another one where we should just have an Avon party and we should just role play. Like you're all invited guests. I'm throwing a party. We'll just all get in character, okay? And we just record it and use
I think
it.
you did that too.
I probably did.
You did, you and Maria.
Yes, I
Yes.
did do it.
You
Yeah.
did do it.
So,
Is that on YouTube?
no, that wasn't YouTube, but that's what we
And
do.
my
was the
first
boys'
party on
night.
Sunday. I'm so nervous.
Oh, okay. See, and
Like,
now
what
we
do
have
I
all
do?
these
I
games.
don't know what to
We
do.
play trivia.
You know what's a great idea to do? You give
The
everybody the
pocketbook
book,
thing?
give
Oh.
everybody the brochure, and you go through like
Yeah,
dog
we
tag
go through
some
it.
of the good, hard products are there. And you talk about them. If you have them, you show them, you pass it around. See if anybody has Avon products in their bag or any kind of products in their bag.
I used to do a little race. I would say, who can find this product? and everybody go flipping through the brochures.
Right, that's what it was.
So if they
Right.
got to the brochure, they got a 10% coupon for that product, or they earned an extra raffle ticket or something. And then everyone kind of is on that page, and that causes, now you pick another, who can find this? It was like a little game that we would play. Another thing was like the top 10 trivia questions about Avon. You can use that story that I printed out from the Avon